Hi, here I am again, Dale, grandmother, mother, slash guardian, whatever. I just want to share just a quick story, not venting as much, but just want to have a real insight of what I'm going through, and maybe there's some other grandparents that are going through this. Could be an aunt as well going through this, and probably a sister, somebody maybe going through what I'm going through or been there. But I just want to share. Um, I left off that we went on vacation with the babysitter in place. We got one at the last minute for our granddaughter, and we had some dear friends able to take care of them while we went away for 7 days, probably a little more. And so that was wonderful. I thank God still for that ram in the bush. And so this moment, I felt like today was dropped in my spirit to share an incident. I know I mentioned to you in the first video that I cried a lot. I cried a lot in the morning on my way to work, praying and talking to God because I did not want to do this. And I'm not ashamed to say it. Some people are not honest with their feelings, but the type of person I am, it's no shame in admitting that you're having certain feelings. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. Those are your feelings at that time and at that moment. And it doesn't make that I love my grandkids any less. It's just the place that the position I was put in as an empty nester and a person that had a lot of other things going on at the time that the kids came to me. And so I would go to work every day and just feeling heavy loaded. My husband would get the kids off to school and to daycare, so that helped. But I know then I would have to think of decisions about I have to go to the gym. I do teach full time, an instructor 4 nights a week, Monday through Thursday. I teach after I work full time every single day, a 40-hour shift. And so, and the gym for me is my happy place, my most happy place. And I've been doing this for 20 plus years, and I didn't want to give that up as a grandparent or as a person, period. That was something I need for my mental health and my own well being. So there were a lot of things that was already doing that was a part of my life before the kids came along. And basically, I don't give up that time for anybody, not even my own husband. I don't want to give up that kind of time. So this is, I feel like I want to share because I think it's important for you to really hear this part. So this part of me where I was crying every single day, coming in, God, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Help me, Lord. Who else? I don't want this responsibility. But at the same time, I remember my mom, she had to take my two niece and nephew in her care because my sister chose to live the wrong way and got incarcerated for a while. So my father and her took the kids because they definitely didn't want them to go into foster care. And we know foster care has some good stories and it has some horrific stories. And frankly, none of us want the horrific story. I do have friends that do foster care. They're beautiful people, lovely people. I would leave any kid with them, baby, because there are some good foster parents, and I do know them. But it doesn't mean that I may get them or my grandkids would have them. So this particular time, thinking all those things, I would like to, is there some place I can put them, somebody else that would take them? And I would cry to God in the morning. I leave the house by 5:30 in the morning and oh, God, it's another day of what I have to do, and just tired of thinking the whole thing, the anxiety of what the kids need to be done, shopping, food, their clothing, their doctor's appointments. That's a lot for somebody that's an empty nester, a grandparent. It's a lot for a grandparent. And we're getting tired. We're older, but our energy is not the same as when we had our own children. It's not the same energy. The mind's not the same either. And I'm not saying I'm sharp. I'm sharp, honey. I got some stories to tell you. I am sharp. But you're tired. Every day you come home, you're a little more mentally tired from your day and you're exhausted. So, and the times make you more tired. So I cried out one morning and I got in the car and I was talking to God again. I drive in and then there's the T, what we call the T, the bus, the transportation. I got on that and then I take a shuttle. So you see my day is already long to get to the job because there's no parking. So I take the shuttle, I get off the shuttle, and I work in the hospital zone. I work for a hospital. And I got off, and this man of God, who I know as a friend, a co-worker, I used to work with him until I moved on to another place in the hospital. And he said, "Hey Dale, how you doing? How's the kids? How the grandkids? How's your husband?" And I had just finished having my pity party on the way in. And when I got off the shuttle, here he is. And I said, "Oh, just pray for me." I said, "I don't even know if I can do this. I don't even want this." And I started telling him, "I don't know. It's a lot of work." And at the time, the grandson, he had his issues where he was acting out a little bit. I'll get to that one of these days. But he was acting out. So you have that pressure on you and your husband. Sometimes he feels good and sometimes he doesn't feel as good. He was still dealing with, you know, getting his health totally back together. So you have that weight. I had that weight on me as well. And I just vented to him at that moment and I told him the things that were going on and I don't think I wanted to do it. I don't think I could do this. I said I just got finished talking to God. I said I can't do this. I don't think I can do this assignment, do this work. And he said to me, "Are you a woman of God?" And I looked and I said, "Well, yes, I am." He said to me, "Well, I'm going to say something to you, and it's dropping in my spirit, and I can hear God saying very clearly that you're a woman of God, and how dare you think you can pick your assignment?" I was like, he said, that's the problem with many Christians. Once we get saved, we want the pulpit, we want to go here, we want to do this and that. He said, but when you're chosen by God and truly chosen, the assignments you get are not always the assignments you want. And he said, God is saying to me to tell you that you were chosen for this assignment. Your husband was chosen for this assignment. He said to me very clear, I just stood there on the corner listening to this man. It was like not even 7 o'clock in the morning, still dark out. And he said to me, who else better can raise that boy? Who else better can raise that girl? Look around in your family. Who else could do it? And he said, also, that boy, your husband has something that boy needs, and he can give it to him. That girl that you're raising, your granddaughter, you have something she needs, and only you can give it to her. And he said, God saw this happening a long time ago. He knew this was going to happen, and that's why you were picked. That's why you and your husband are positioned the way you're positioned. And he said, one day, you don't see it now, but those kids are going to be a blessing to you. And I stood there. And he says, I'm sorry, I have to give it to you this way because this is the way God has given it to me. You can't pick your assignments when you're a woman of God and your husband is a man of God. You don't get to pick every assignment. And every assignment is not going to be easy. So he said, I will continue to pray for you, but God has everything in place that you need. Everything these kids need, he's already set it up. He's already given it to you. And I stood there and I said, thank you. I was shook. I was shocked. And I was like, okay, because I really respect him. And I know we have talks and everything. And he was only speaking what God can speak to him. And he was only saying, he said something you don't want to hear, but that's how God does it. It's like, you don't want to hear this, but let me tell you, you're going to have to hear it. And I was open to it because I had been crying every single day for an answer or something. And this man, I'm going to protect his name because I always do, who was a friend, a man of God, he gave it to me. He said what he said to me, and he said, "You're going to be all right. You can do this, and I'm going to still be praying for you, and there are others praying for you, and you're strong enough to get through this." And let me tell you, from that day on, and that was a year ago, maybe more than a year ago, 2, 3, because the kids are with me. This is my 4th year, so let's go for 3.5 years back. And I'm doing my crying thing. Let me tell you, I never cry like that anymore. I didn't even bother. It was already said. What God said, it's done. I'm chosen to do this. I'm trusting him. I have trusted him from that moment on. And you know what? God has given me the friends, the connections, the money for the babysitting. We have not needed anything. People have come that I wouldn't even know somebody that contacted. When the one babysitter didn't work, somebody else opened the door and stepped right into. I didn't miss work. I have not missed in the 4 years work because I had the children. Like I said, the babysitting, my vacations, God has placed somebody that continues, is there for us when we're ready to go on vacation. Let me know your next one. Know the children well. The children are comfortable with this person and their families. And of course, they're DCF approved. You never know, but you make sure they're DCF approved. And even though we have guardianship, we can let them go wherever. But, after what they've been through, we make sure that everybody's top notch as possible, because we don't want any more trauma, drama, anything with the children. They've gone through enough, and so have we. We've heard enough, we've seen enough. So I just wanted to share this part that if anybody's struggling, God is so magnificent. He is so loving and caring that these two, as precious as they are to me, they're even more precious to God. That he said, I trust you two. I trust you and your husband. And I know you're going to go kicking and screaming, but you're going to do a good job. You're going to do right by them. And I'm doing the best I can. And I will always do right by my grandchildren, as so is my husband. And he definitely loves me doing this blog. He thinks it's a good thing that I am doing. And it's relieving my stress. But I wanted to share this with you because God, if you're in that situation, pray and trust. Sometimes we don't know, but sometimes we're the only hope. Grandparents are the only hope these kids have. The last of the last is all they have. And nobody can give. The kids are still with their family. They still see their cousins. They know their aunts. They're not separated from family activities. There's still some family I like them to meet that are far away from us, but I'm trusting God that time will come. And they're just still in the middle. I know where they are. I don't have to question. I don't have to make an appointment with a worker or another caretaker. They're here, and I know they're safe. I know what they're doing on a daily basis, and I understand why it's happening and what's going on. So there's two sides, but I am making it. I'm still teaching my classes. He's made a way. He's made a way. I don't have to worry. And the person watches them, feeds them their dinner right after he gets them. He feeds them their dinner. So 4 nights a week, or 3 nights a week, when I'm able to, when I'm teaching my classes, he's giving them dinner after he picks them up. And they get their homework done. And if they're doing something wrong, he's on it as much as we're on it. So I'm blessed. We're blessed. And the children are blessed. So I just wanted to share this part. I don't want it to sound all down. There are some down days, but I have to look at there is a blessing here. And I didn't realize I am a blessing to them, or God has chosen me for something like this. So I just wanted to share and hopefully keep others encouraged to keep pressing on and pray and love God. And if you love God and you teach the children God and you pray, God doesn't fail. He never fails. And there's nothing, again, I have to say, they've lacked. I haven't had to beg for anything. We are set up correctly. We do have enough. We have more than enough to give these kids. And they don't miss anything: food, clothing, little short trips, birthday parties, their friends' birthday parties, whatever. The kids are safe. I thank God. And thank you for listening to me. I'll try to do a blog next week, but I just wanted to end it and just share this quick moment with you. Have a wonderful Sunday.